Wisconsin Republican Governor Scott Walker, also known as the destroyer of jobs, Scott Walker, said on Monday that he would be willing to sign a 20-week abortion ban without any exceptions for rape or incest. Absolutely horrible, out of context, strict father morality type of legislation, but not unique to Scott Walker, right? Much of the Republican Party is into pushing this exact same type of anti-abortion bill. However, Scott Walker added that women are mostly concerned about issues of rape and incest as the cause of their pregnancy only, quote, in the initial months of pregnancy, according to TV station WKOW. Here's a quote from Scott Walker. I think for most people who are concerned about that, it's in the initial months when they're most concerned about it. In this case, again, it's an unborn life, it's an unborn child, and that's why we feel strongly about it. I'm prepared to sign it either way that they send it to us, with or without a exception for rape or incest. He's right, Lewis. You know, women who are impregnated by rapists, they're a little upset at the beginning of the pregnancy, but by week 20, they're just so happy to have this God-given fetus inside of them that they're just thinking happy thoughts.
This is insane. He is right that they are probably the most upset early, but that doesn't mean that it goes away. So how is he an expert on this? And how do people sit back and say, you know what? I think Scott Walker's right. He's been wrong about pretty much everything else.
Scott Walker is an expert in so many things. I mean, just last week, he was talking about how mandatory ultrasounds for women seeking abortions are, quote, pretty cool. I've never heard a mandatory transvaginal ultrasound be described, or any ultrasound rather, in the interest of being specific. I've never heard of ultrasound being mandated as something that's pretty cool. I understand many parents getting an ultrasound and seeing their unborn child and thinking that that's cool. But Scott Walker is an expert on everything, and he knows whether it's a pregnancy caused by rape or incest. The women are fine after 20 weeks, or whether it's a mandatory ultrasound that you may not want, you just want to get an abortion, the ultrasound is still pretty cool, as is the experience of being forced to have it. This guy is disgusting, and what's off-putting to me about him isn't so much, it is obviously in part his political positions, they're disgusting, but the arrogance and the sort of cavalier attitude towards pronouncing things that other people should or he thinks are feeling, it's a level of arrogance that is almost unparalleled.
Yeah. I mean, I think we know the types of women that he probably surrounds himself with. But do you think that he's actively seeking the advice of any of those women or other women when making decisions like this?
Who knows? I was thinking, you know, whether aside from the women element of it, the Republican Party cares a lot about unborn babies and the 1%. So maybe if we start calling people who are alive and in the 99% post-born babies, we might be able to get people like Scott Walker and Republicans to care about them more. Is that a possibility?
I think it's worth a shot because we have nothing to lose, but I think it's going to be futile.